Good morning, the interpreter's checking in. How's everybody doing? I'm doing well. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hello. No, not a judge. This is the interpreter. Hi, good morning. All right, somebody knew me there by name, but I can't quite see who's on the other side. Oh, what's going on, Q? How's everybody? Happy Saturday.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
The interpreter,
Good morning.
the interpreter can hear the
Morning,
court.
Judge.
Good morning.
Hi. Okay, I'm Judge Amy Carter. We're gonna go ahead and begin. Are the interpreters first?
They are now, but I feel it, because we go straight through the docket.
Okay.
The interpreter's there, so with Orange County, the Spanish interpreter will be first.
Okay. Will the public defender let me know if it's a Spanish case then? Is that how that works? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. We just have one, and we were going to ask if that case could go first. Mr. Quinones is a private attorney. He's here for that case.
Oh, okay. What's
So
the
if Your
defendant's
Honor would
name?
entertain hearing that case first.
Sure. What is the defendant's name?
Last name, Hernandez Moncada. First name, Stevens.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Where's the Osceola County case?
And it's also an interpreter case, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And this is, Mr. Interpreter, this is an interpreter case, I was told.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The interpreter's ready and available. If it pleases the court, and the interpreter can be sworn in. We've not yet been sworn in this morning.
Oh, okay.
Do you solemnly swear to translate from Spanish to English, from English to Spanish, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
To the best of my ability, I do. This is Jorge Bonilla, state certified co-interpreter for the record.
Thank you.
And then there's no headphones, it's just regular?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Counsel, please state your name for the record.
Identifíquese para
Attorney
la
John
acta, abogado, por
Quiñones.
favor. Licenciado John Quiñones.
And
I'm sorry, and Your Honor, if the court could please approach. Thank you, Your Honor.
no problem. Is that better?
Much better, Your Honor. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay. And sir, please tell me your name. Are you Mr. Stevens Hernandez Monica?
Caballero, declaren su nombre, por favor. Es usted Steven Hernández Moncada.
Steven Andrés Hernández Moncada.
Steven Andres Hernandez Moncada.
All right, sir. You were arrested for violation of an injunction, stalking.
Fuiste detenido por violación de una orden de protección, es decir, acecho.
Counsel, did you have any issues with the probable cause?
Licenciado, ¿tuvo usted algún problema con la causa probable?
Your Honor, I actually do. If you read the affidavit, it reads very much as my client was the victim of a kidnap. I
Su
know
señoría-
this is unusual.
Su señoría, sí tengo un problema de hecho, tengo un problema con causa probable. Si usted ve el affidavit indicaría que mi cliente fue la víctima de un secuestro.
If you read the first part, the alleged victim states that she actually is the one that picked my client up in a drunken state at 2:05 or, I'm sorry, at very early in the morning,
Si usted
and
ve
that
la
he
primera
requested that he wanted to leave.
Mis señores, si usted ve el primer párrafo, de hecho, dice bien claro que la presunta víctima fue la que buscó a mi cliente en un estado de embriaguez en horas de la madrugada y no se quería ir.
And I just asked the court, there's absolutely nothing in the affidavit to indicate that he was threatening. In fact, he called 911, so he wanted to leave, and he called 911, and he ended up getting arrested.
De hecho, si usted ve el affidavit, no hay nada en el affidavit que indique que mi cliente de forma alguna fue amenazante. De hecho, si usted ve el affidavit, fue él el que llamó al 911 porque quería irse, no lo dejaron ir, y él fue el que llamó al 911 y acabaron arrestándolo.
So I would respectfully ask the court to, in reviewing of the affidavit, that there is no probable cause, but if the court does find probable cause, there's nothing in there that indicates that he's a threat, and I would respectfully ask for a reasonable bond. Obviously, he's not to have any contact with the alleged victim, and he did sign or he agrees to a prohibition of a contact order.
De hecho, y por tanto, yo respetuosamente pido a la Corte que no determine que hay causa probable en este caso, pero si tuviese la Corte una determinación de causa probable, que le imponga una fianza razonable a mi cliente, y por supuesto mi cliente seguirá acatando como lo ha hecho a las órdenes de no contacto en este caso.
I do find that there is probable cause for the offense of violation of the injunction. I understand your argument, counsel, but he did get into the car and he's not to have any contact.
Determino que sí hay causa probable en este caso. Yo entiendo su argumento, licenciado, pero él estaba bajo orden de no contacto y de hecho se metió en el carro con ella.
But I will take into consideration all of the facts in the affidavit when setting the bond.
Pero a la hora de fijar fianza, yo voy a tomar en cuenta todos los hechos establecidos en el affidavit.
So I'm going to set bond
Thank you.
in the amount
Gracias.
of $500.
Por tanto, fijaré fianza de $500 en este caso.
Mr. Moncada, you are not to have any contact with your ex-wife,
Yes, miss.
solely Tatiana Ramirez Hernandez.
Señor Moncada, ¿se te prohíbe el contacto con tu ex esposa, la señora Rodríguez Hernández?
You are to abide by the injunction,
Tendrás que acatarte a las normas de la orden de protección.
and you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms.
Se te prohíbe la posesión o tenencia de armas blancas o armas de fuego.
Anything else?
¿Algo más?
Judge, Officer Dunkirk with pretrial release. Mr. Hernandez is currently on pretrial diversion for battery.
Okay.
Señoría, la
it's not
señora
the-
Dunkirk de la Oficina de Libertad con Antelación a Juicio, señora Moncada está actualmente en libertad con antelación a juicio por un cargo de agresión física.
It expires on the 28th of next month.
Y esa orden expira el 28 de... I'm sorry, was that this month or next month?
Okay.
Expira el 28 del mes que viene.
Next month.
Did you want to take any action on revoking?
No.
¿Quiere usted tomar acción para revocar? No.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Gracias. Gracias a usted.
That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sea lo más pronto.
So that's the only option left. Right? Oh, okay. Ladies are here. All right. Ladies are here. Do we have the next defendant?
Your Honor, I don't hear the one was called.
Oh, thank you. Susan Domina?
She's approaching.
Thank you.
And for the record, Janine Marie Anson, Public Defender's Office.
Thank you very much. Is the state attorney present? Would you put your name on the record too, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Anna Olvera on behalf of the state.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. You were arrested for violating your probation. At this time, your bond is set at none. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, ma'am. Thank you. All right. The next defendant is Benny at Maxwell Edens.
And Your Honor, he's approaching. This is going to, we would like to waive the reading of the charges in this case.
Okay. All right. This actually has a case number, so I can call that. Good morning, Mr. Edens.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you are here in 19 CF 2837. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Count 1 is a punishable by life felony. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. But since this is a warrant, the state would just argue that bond remain at none.
Okay. So on a punishable by life felony, the state does have a burden to establish in order to continue to have the bond be set at none. You have to establish that there's proof evident or presumption great. Are you relying on the contents of the warrant?
No, Your Honor. The state would be requesting the 24-hour reset in order to go ahead and get more information to be able to move forward.
Okay. You can rely on the contents of the warrant if you'd like the court to do that. And to, I see. Do you want to approach and look at the warrant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning. Defense, do you have the warrant?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I would assume it's in, and you have access to that in the clerk's file?
Unfortunately, we do not have internet in Osceola, so I have no way of accessing the warrant.
Okay. Okay. I was told that Osceola is who sent it to our clerks here, so I don't know if there's someone there that would be able to provide that to you, if the clerk that's with you, or you don't have a clerk there. Does
We do not have
pretrial
a clerk.
services have it?
Judge, if you can we push Mr. Edens to the back? That way I can get ample time so that the PD can get the warrant. I have to go to my office in order to get it.
Okay, yeah, I'd like her to have a copy of that.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Oh. I don't, this is in the PBL. Okay, so we're gonna set Mr. Edens off to the side for a moment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next defendant is Pedro Hernandez.
And Your Honor, he bonded.
Oh, he did, okay. And then we have Scott Farrell. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
You did. You did.
What's your name, sir?
Scott Farrell.
Mr. Farrell, you were arrested for DUI and refusal to submit to a blood alcohol test. There's probable cause for each of those offenses, sir. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, sir.
Judge, I believe there's 3 counts. Oh, I'm sorry, my apologies. I was looking at Mr. Eden's.
No problem.
It's 500 count 1.
And 100 count 2. And then next we have Samuel Galarza. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
Samuel Galarza.
Mr. Galarza, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause KPS related to a violation of probation for driving while license suspended. Your bond is set at none, sir, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you. The next defendant is Antonio Lang.
And Your Honor, for the record, his first name is Darrell.
Oh, excuse me. But you are Mr. Lang, is that correct? Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You were arrested for failing to appear at a VOP sentencing hearing related to driving while license suspended. Your bond is currently set at none, sir, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they were not previously appointed. Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Lang failed to appear because he was incarcerated in another jurisdiction. It wasn't willful.
Okay.
So we would ask if the court would entertain setting a bond so that Mr. Lang could bond out. It wasn't a willful failure to appear. He couldn't appear.
Where was he
He
incarcerated?
was not transported.
Where was he incarcerated?
In Alabama.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes, that's mine. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Not here, Your Honor. He has that documentation at home.
Okay, so he's gonna need to get in contact
Once
with
he was released.
his lawyer, and that can be presented to the judge. I don't know if the judge would find that willful or not, so I'm gonna decline to set a bond at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We have Jillian Marsh.
Approaching.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Tell me your name. Ma'am, your name?
Yes, Renee Marsh.
Ms. Marsh, you're here for failing to appear on a written promise. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you if they were not previously appointed. Thank you.
Your Honor, for the record, Ms. Marsh was also incarcerated in Pinellas County. She does have that documentation in her cell.
Okay, again, I don't have that in front of me. She may have that. I didn't issue the KPS, so she'll have to present that to the judge who issued the KPS. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, is this for both cases? Because I only heard one.
Is there 2 cases that she failed to appear on? Okay, so same
Yes,
for
Your
Yes,
Honor.
Judge.
Then it's the same for both. The bond is 0 on both.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure. All right, Eliseo Morales.
Your Honor, for the record, Mr. Morales would also like to waive the reading of the charges in this case.
Okay. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Eliezer Morales.
Sir, you were arrested in 19 CF 2933 pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $3,500. Your bond on count 2 is going to be $2,500. You're not to have any contact with with Ms. Hernandez. You're not to return to a Walmart, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Yes. And the next defendant is Yvonne Morgan.
approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Tell me your name, please.
Yvonne Morgan.
Ms. Morgan, you failed to appear for a determination of counsel hearing. You were arrested pursuant to a capias. Your bond on that capias is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you at this time, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Edwin Muniz. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name.
Edwin Muniz.
Mr. Muniz, you were arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,500. You are not to have any contact with the victim in this matter, and you are to not possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Muniz is a single parent. He has lived in the state of Florida for over 10 years. He has, to our understanding, no violent past criminal charges. Would the court entertain lowering the bond to maybe $1,000 or $500 so that he can bond out? Unfortunately, $1,500 he is not able to afford.
Oh, he qualifies for pretrial release. I have a sheet. This sheet says he qualifies for PTR. Is that correct?
Bond with PTR, Judge, because of the 907. He has history out of New Jersey.
Okay.
And 2 Florida DUIs. One was no prost.
All right, it must be different for Osceola County? Okay. No, I just
Yeah,
wasn't
we give the
aware that
history,
you
Judge.
have to do, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the bond and the PTR. You can't just do straight PTR?
No, Judge.
Okay, well, I'll do bond at $100 plus PTR with all the other
Thank you, Your
conditions. All right, thank you.
Thank
The
you.
next defendant is Gilda Nieves. Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name.
Gilda Neves.
Ma'am, you failed to appear on a written promise. Your bond is currently set at none. I will appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we have Tyler Posey. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name.
Tyler Posse.
Sir, you were arrested for DUI and driving while license suspended with knowledge. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, sir. The next defendant is Eric Rich. Good morning, your name?
Eric Rich, and I was just in the hospital because
Okay, Mr. Rich, thank you. You want to tell me you were in the hospital, right?
Yes, Your Honor, he was in the hospital, Mr.
I understand. Sir, you failed to appear on a written promise for arraignment for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed. Your bond is set at none, and you'll have to have your lawyer file a motion with the judge who issued the capias, sir, and you can provide that information about the hospital at that time. Thank you. The next defendant is Tatiana Sanchez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. Tell me your name, please.
Tatiana Sanchez.
Ma'am, you were arrested pursuant to a violation of probation warrant. At this time, your bond is set at none, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And then Alexander Serrano Guerrero. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Alexander Serrano.
Mr. Serrano, you were arrested for the offense of battery, domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with Maria Maldonado. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Miss Maldonado's not present, or would she be here?
She would appear here.
Okay. You're to maintain a separate residence from Miss Maldonado, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir. I'm going to set your bond at $100 and PTR. Thank you. Next defendant is Michael Van Buren. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Good morning, Michael Van Buren.
Mr. Van Buren, you were arrested for criminal mischief, $1,000 or more, and burglary with an assault or battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is $10,000. You are not to have any contact with Bradley Moore, and you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Victim.
Thank you.
The next defendant is Luz Benitez. Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Luz Benitez.
Ma'am, you were arrested pursuant to a violation of probation warrant, alleging that you were arrested for committing the new offense of battery, touch, or strike. Your bond at this time is set at none, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you. The next defendant is Mario Merced. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Mario Merced.
Mr. Merced, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant in 19 CF 4604. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You are not to return, sir, to the Home Depot. And I'm going to set your bond at $1,000, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. I'm currently waiting on a deal. Gonna
What?
affect my DOC,
He said he's currently waiting on a DOC transport. Is this going to affect whether or not he's transported?
I do not know the answer to that, sir. You have to ask your attorney about that, okay? Thank you. The next defendant is Jeannie Johnson. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Jenny Johnston.
Ms. Johnston, you were here in 3 cases, all of which are violations of probation, and you were arrested pursuant to those warrants. Your bond on each of the cases at this time is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender on each case if they were not previously appointed. Thank you, ma'am. Ivan Rivera. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Ivan Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, you were arrested pursuant to 2 out-of-county warrants from Lake County. One is a violation of probation related to possessing or selling a wild animal without authority. The other one is driving while license suspended, attaching a tag not assigned, and no motor vehicle registration. On the first case, sir, your bond is $5,000. On the second case, your bond on count 1 is $2,000. Bond on count 1 is $2,000. Bond on count 2 is $1,000. Bond on count 3 is $1,000 for a total of $4,000. If you are unable to post that bond, sir, Lake County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance. Thank you, sir. Oh, the next defendant is Benjamin Walker.
Mr. Walker refused, Your Honor.
Okay, well, based on Mr. Walker's refusal, I'm gonna find a waiver of his appearance, and I'm gonna continue with his initial appearance. Mr. Walker was arrested for failing to register a phone number change, failing to register an email or instant messenger name, 2 counts, possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause for all of those offenses. Count 1, his bond is going to be $3,500. Count 2, oh, this is the first case, the one with the,
3,500 on count 1?
yep. And then, 150 on count 2, 150 on count 3, 150 on count 4, 150 on count 5, and 100 on count 6. In the other case, his bond on count 1 will be $2,500, and on count 2 will be $150. And then,
Judge,
yes,
Judge, I'm sorry. Mr. Walker is also out on bond in case number 18 CF 4293,
Okay.
failing to report.
okay, I will.
Did you want to take any action on that?
I do, I'm going to revoke that bond, it will be set at none. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And then, Madam Public Defender, will you tell me your name again?
Oh, Officer Dunkirk, pretrial release.
The Public Defender, I didn't catch her name.
Janine Marie Ante.
Ms. Ante, did you receive that affidavit?
I just got it.
Okay, would you let me know when you're ready to proceed on that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You know what I do need to run. That's my turn. I forgot my, well, we can do it after this. I forgot my. Yes? Okay. Could you bring them in? Oh, you need the name?
Yes, just the one Spanish. And then these two.
Is the interpreter still on the line? Sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, we're gonna go ahead and, there's only one Spanish case for Orange County, we're gonna go ahead and do that one now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, yes. But the public defender is not in here. Okay.
¿Puedo oír? Oír.
All right, good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
Juan Alberto Reyes.
Juan Alberto Reyes.
Mr. Reyes, you're here in 19 CT 6072.
I'm sorry, if could the court please approach a microphone? The interpreter's having difficulty hearing the court.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Thank you so much, Your Honor, yes.
Sure. This is 19 CT 6072. Sir, you were arrested for driving while license suspended. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $500. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license, and I'm going to take no action on 19 CF 10565. Thank you, sir.
¿Me puede dar un chance para hablar?
Can I have a chance to speak?
You probably don't want to say anything about your case, sir, today. Everything in this room is recorded, so if you have a question, you can ask your lawyer.
Porque yo no recibí ninguna de esas suspensión de licencia, por eso fue que
I never-
estaba manejando.
I never got anything saying that my license was suspended. That's why I was driving.
Okay, so, sir, that's why I don't want you to say anything, okay? Because you may have a defense to the case. That's something you need to talk to your lawyer about. Thank you. And then, Mr. Interpreter, that's all we have this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great one.
Thanks so much, you too.
Your Honor, counsel's ready
Great, thank you.
on Mr. Edens.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond on count one?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state would be requesting that the court issue no bond on this case, just based on the defendant's arrest warrant. ID was made by a previous coworker who positively identified the defendant that committed this incident. At this time, the state would just argue that based on the ID and the information within the arrest warrant, law enforcement also stated they watched the video and observed the defendant doing these actions, that the defendant shouldn't have a bond.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ante? Did you wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, I have reviewed the warrant. I understand that an identification was made by his previous, I believe, employer from a photo of a video. I'm not exactly sure there was no attachments. We don't know what picture was shown. Your Honor, I would ask the court to institute a bond. He wasn't identified by the victim by name. He wasn't identified by anybody that was there that day. It was a picture of a video that was in movement. So we would ask for a bond to be set in count one.
I find that the defense, or the state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption gray at this time. So bond on count one will remain at none. Bond on count two will be $5,000, and bond on count three will be $100. Sir, you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You are not to return to 1979 East Osceola Parkway, that's the mobile gas station, and you're not to have any contact with any of the employees of that gas station. Thank you. And I'll appoint the public defender. And then I believe
Thank
it's
you, Your
all
Honor.
the Osceola County cases, is that correct?
That is all we have.
All right, thank you, have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Judge, did you want to start early tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll start, I guess, whenever we're ready. Denise just said that we don't know until we see the docket. But, if it's
Okay, I
anything
gotcha.
if it's anything like today,
I know, a lot of feedback for some reason.
yeah, juvenile was very short today, so I got here pretty early, but I plan to start at juvenile tomorrow again at 8 a.m. And as soon as that's done, I'm gonna come over here, so.
All
Thank
right.
you, Your Honor. We'll be ready.
Thank you.
Judge.
And then we're ready for Orange. Is everyone ready to start Orange County?
Yes.
Okay. Is this council or are these all police officers? Got it. Okay, so we're all set. I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is the Orange County docket. If I could have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please.
Ann Olvera on behalf of the state.
Did the public defender want to announce their appearance for the record?
Sorry. Robert Williams with the Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Your Honor. Jeremiah Allen on behalf of Mr. Davis.
Good morning, Mr. Allen. This is, Mr. Davis, you were arrested in an out-of-county warrant, sir. Is it Wayne County? No, Osceola County for aggravated stalking, dating, violence. There is no bond on that warrant, sir. Counsel, did you want to be heard?
Judge, I explained to Mr. Davis that, you have to go down to Osceola County to get a bond on that, is my experience. Do you know
Yes.
how long it's taken them to come up the road to?
The admin order is 24 hours, but it's on business days, so I would suspect that they're gonna get here on Monday.
Okay.
All right, but I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond case at this time. I don't have enough information, so,
Understood.
all right.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Good morning, your name?
Jamal Thomas.
Are one of you here on this case? You wanna come up? All right. Mr. Thomas, you were arrested in 19 CF 11727 for aggravated assault with a firearm pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning. Could you state your name for the record, please?
It's Detective Hudson, Cody Hudson with Winter Garden Police Department.
All right, Detective Hudson, what would you like to tell the court?
Just that this individual that we have here is someone that we've been doing a targeted investigation on for a culmination of a month-long investigation pursuant to that last arrest warrant that was issued for the bond revokement on the other. And my administration will maybe be present just for that.
I understand, sir. Okay, thank you. All right. So on this, out of this new arrest warrant, 19 CF 11727, Mr. Thomas is entitled to a bond. His bond is gonna be $3,500. Sir, you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You are not to return to the scene, and you're not to have any contact with Anthony Allier. You have 19 CF 4640 and 18 CF 17517. Those bonds will be revoked at this time and they'll be set at none. Thank you, sir. What did I do with that? Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Kenneth Gay.
Kenneth Gay?
Yes.
Mr. Gay, this is 19 MM 6839. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Is anyone here on Mr. Gay? No? Oh, okay. Thought you said the first two. Are you here on a case? Yes, you want, do you guys have another case too?
No, ma'am. We're gonna get out of here as soon as you're done.
Oh, okay. I just thought there were two cases probably. Thank you.
Already checked on that one.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Could you tell me your name, please?
Shantae Patterson.
Ms. Patterson, what is your relationship to Mr. Gay?
That's my boyfriend.
Okay. Did you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
Do you have any concerns about your safety whatsoever?
No.
All right. State any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Patterson, you provided statements to law enforcement.
We talked, yeah.
Okay. And during these statements to law enforcement, you stated that, let's see. Actually, no further questions, Your Honor.
Sir, at this time, I'm going to order that you're not to have any hostile contact.
And, Your Honor, I apologize. I would like to make an argument for a no contact. The narrative does state that the victim was not cooperative with law enforcement. However, there was a victim, or I apologize, there was a witness who observed the whole altercation who stated that they observed the defendant with his forearm around the victim's neck. And based on the victim's statements here in court, I would request a no contact order just for her protection.
I have one last question for you. Ms. Peterson, do you have any concerns about your child's safety?
No.
Okay. So, Mr. Gay, you're not to have any hostile contact with Ms. Peterson. Do you understand what that means?
Me hostile. Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Okay. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms at this time. And I'm going to place you on pre-trial release, sir. Thank you.
And I apologize, Your Honor, what was the bond for that?
PTR.
PTR.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Jocelyn Jimenez.
Ma'am, you're here in 19 CF 11708. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree, and use of an anti-shoplifting control device. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. You're not to return to target at 3343 Daniels Road. Your bond, ma'am, is $150 on count 1 and $1,000 on count 2. You also have 19 and 782. You were arrested for petty theft. Also at the target at 3343 Daniels Road where you're not to return. There's probable cause for that offense and the public defender will be appointed. Your bond in that case will be $100. $19 MM 6485, I'm revoking the bond. That bond will be reset at $2,500.
You revoke that on bond instead of 2,500. And the court order for my.
No problem. Thank you, we're done.
Wait, what's the, oh, that's the total?
Sir, good morning, your name?
Clarice Pierre Noel.
Mr. Noel, you're here in 19 CF 11693. You were arrested for robbery armed with a weapon and aggravated battery. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender. You're not to have any contact with Samantha Pinos. Your bond on count 1 is $15,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. You also have 19 CF 11694. You were arrested for aggravated battery. There is probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender in all your cases today. And in this case, your bond, sir, is $3,500. You're not to have any contact with Nikita Johnson, and you're not to return to the TDLR clothing store. You also have 19 CF 11695. You were arrested for aggravated assault, criminal mischief greater than $1,000 in battery. There's also probable cause for those offenses. You are not to return to the Checkers, sir. You're not to have any contact with Jamaica Bostic. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms in any of the cases. And your bond in this case is $1,500 on count 1, $150 on count 2, and $100 on count 3. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Anthony Harris.
What about Allie Russell?
He's behaved,
All right, well, I'm gonna find a waiver of Mr. Russell's appearance based upon his inability to come to court. He's here 19 MM 6844. He was arrested for resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. His bond is $500. I'm not going to take any action on his out on bond cases at this time. Oh, yes, 19 MO 1460. I'll find a waiver of his appearance in that case as well based upon his inability to come to court. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Bond is $100. You're Mr. Harris?
Yeah.
Yes, good morning. This is 19 MM 561. You were arrested for trespass other than a structure or conveyance. There is probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to
I
represent
wasn't
you.
trespassing, I was working.
Mr. Harris, please, just a second. That may be true, sir. You're gonna have two options today. I can set your bond for you, and you can take the case downtown, and you can present your defense, or you can resolve.
I worked there.
Mr. Harris, I'm not trying to argue with you. Do you wanna listen to me?
I'm arguing with you, I worked there. The guy had been working for him, I wasn't trespassing.
Mr. Harris, calm down. Listen to me very carefully. I can leave your bond set, and you can take the case, and you can fight it and present that defense.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight it and present it.
All right, sir, your bond is $500. Thank you. You can't return to the Waffle House.
I ain't real fighting that.
Thank you,
so
Mr.
fight
Harris.
it, man,
Bye,
shit.
Mr. Harris. Sir, good morning. Your name?
I'm John King.
Mr. King, this is 19 MM 6810. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, did you want to resolve your case this morning?
Yes.
Okay, could you sign the plea form for me, please? So you have 3 days, Jenny?
Credit sounds right on.
Mr. King, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
Any of what?
Any of the rights on the form that you're giving up? Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, sir, are you on probation?
Am I on probation?
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or a medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 3 days' time served. Sir, you can't return to the Quality Inn at 626 Lee Road. Do you understand?
Yes.
Sir, you've been trespassed from that property, so if you do return, you'll be arrested. You have to pay court costs, which are due by August 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Ronald Paramore.
Mr. Paramore, you were here in 19 CF 11673. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle pursuant to a probable cause warrant.
Ma'am, I don't want to contest.
Sir, I understand, but listen, you can't resolve your case today. It has to be resolved downtown. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you what your bond amount is today and what your conditions of release are. All right? So you can't return to the Fresnius Medical Center at 5600 West Colonial Drive. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is $150, sir. And I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
John Nicholas Marshall, ma'am.
Mr. Marshall, this is 19 CF 11723. You were arrested for child abuse, battery, domestic violence, 2 counts. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I do not find probable cause for count 1. There is probable cause for counts 2 and count 3. So Mr. Marshall is going to be ROR'd as to count 1. Count 2, his bond is going to be $500, and count 3, his bond will be $500. Sir, you're not to have any contact with Geraldine Marshall or Bryce Marshall. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the state would also argue for no alcohol or drugs. Within the narrative, it does state that the reason for the altercation was because the defendant had been drinking all day.
I'm not gonna impose that at this time. Mr. Marshall, did you read the no contact order before you signed it?
Yes, Judge.
Do you have
I
any
did.
questions at all about the order?
No, Judge.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
plain, it's plain.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning, your name?
Angel Cologne.
Mr. Cologne, this is 19 CF 11711. You were arrested for possession of heroin, possession of Xanax, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $1,500. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Your bond on count 3 is $150. And I'm not gonna take any action on your out on bond case at this time. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Vanessa Lee Leedy.
Ms. Leedy, this is 19 CF 11713. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. There's probable cause. Your bond's $2,500 in that matter, ma'am. You have 19 MM 6859. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis. Your bond on count 1 will be $100. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Ma'am, I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case at this time. However, you are not allowed to drive without a valid driver's license. I'm the first appearance judge, so if I see you come back through here driving without a driver's license, I'm going to revoke all the bonds.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Right.
All right, thank you.
So what does that mean? Are you going to let me bond out?
Yeah, I am. But if you come back through here when you're not supposed to be driving, ma'am, you're not listening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. You're making me rethink my decision, though, is what you're doing.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like you're taking it very seriously.
Sorry.
So you don't have a driver's license. You can't drive. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm cutting you a break today because I could hold you at no bond.
Okay.
So I need you to take it very seriously. And what I'm telling you is true. If I do see you come through here again, driving when you're not supposed to, I'm not going to give you a bond. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Ellis Ramos.
Mr. Ramos, you are here in 19MM 781. You were arrested for trespass after warning in a conveyance. There is probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. Mr. Ramos, did you want to resolve your case today? Do you want to enter a plea? Huh?
I don't feel like I broke the law, so.
All right, sir, that's fine. Your bond is $500. I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Garrison Hatch.
Mr. Hatch, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County for failing to appear at arraignment. Your bond, sir, is $85. If you're unable to post that bond, Seminole County is going to come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there. All right,
Okay,
thank you,
I'm
sir.
being transferred to Seminole County?
Yes, sir. Probably
Okay.
Monday.
Monday, okay.
All right, thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Michael Bennett?
Mr. Bennett, you're here in 19MO 1461. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. There is probable cause. And I'll appoint the public defender. Did you want to resolve your case this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, I just need you to sign the plea form, please.
Okay.
Mr. Bennett, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up? Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day time served. You can't return to the Saddle Up Bar. You have to pay court costs. Those are due by August 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir.
So how many days was I sentenced to?
1.
1 day.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Sebastian Louis Martin Fernandez.
All right, Mr. Fernandez, this is 19MO1462. You were arrested for disorderly conduct and state misdemeanors for which there is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Did you want to resolve your case today, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It depends on the time.
Oh, it's time served.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
I need you to sign the plea form, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Mr. Fernandez, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, I have my own copy, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, I do, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, I'm not.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I understand, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No, I have not.
I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail on each count. Those are to run concurrent to one another. You're also going to have to pay court costs. Those are due by August 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir.
Okay, thank you for your time, ma'am.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Terrence Green.
Mr. Green, this is 19MO1463. You were arrested for state misdemeanors or trespassing. There's probable cause. Did you want to resolve your case this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, I need you to sign the plea form, please. Mr. Green, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
No, but I know, I've read it before.
All right, Mr. Green, do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the plea form?
Ma'am?
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up that's on the plea form?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You cannot return to Publix at 4606 South Kirkman Road. You have to pay court costs, which are due by August 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, Mr. Green. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Dustin Donahue.
Mr. Donahue, this is 19 CF 9200. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause habeas, and information in this matter has been filed. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Sandra Beard. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. And you are to maintain a separate residence. Sir, do you have any questions about the no contact order that you just signed?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Oh, wait, your bond is $1,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Nat Garrido.
Ms. Garrido. This is 19 CF 11688. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a motor vehicle and battery domestic violence. There is probable cause, and I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Juan Malero. You are to maintain a separate residence, and you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond on count 1 is $7,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Do you have any questions about the no contact order?
Yes, I was moving at the time, so all my possessions are there. Also, my children that I have custody of, and my medication is there.
Okay, so I'm going to order that you can return one time to the property with law enforcement to obtain your belongings. However, you cannot go without law enforcement. If you do, it's a violation of the order.
I understand.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning. Your name?
Skylar Lennon.
Ms. Lennon, this is 19 CF 11722. You were arrested for battery, one prior domestic violence, and tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Mr. Williams, did you have any issues with the probable cause in this matter?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Do you have any issues with the probable cause in this matter?
Your Honor, from reading the affidavit, yeah, there were some issues with the alleged bruising on the arms of the mother, that how they got there. I don't see how the judge, the officer made a probable cause determination on that. I don't think the proof is evident, and presumption is great in that manner from reading the affidavit.
Okay. I don't find there's probable cause for count one because I'm not sure where the prior conviction is. The officer simply states it should be noted that Skylar was arrested for battery on July 24th of 2016. So I would find probable cause for a battery, simple battery. And there is no probable cause for count two because there are no facts to indicate that that her mother was attempting to call law enforcement when Skylar attempted to take the phone. State, did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, if I could have a moment just to quickly find within the narrative. So in the narrative, middle of the paragraph, it states that the victim in the case believed that she would be physically battered due to the defendant's recent actions. So in an attempt, ran to the living room to telephone an attempt to call law enforcement. I would argue that at that point she is attempting to call law enforcement, and based on the defendant's actions where she began to scratch and pull on the victim's arms in an attempt to grab the phone out of the victim's hands, would meet the probable cause for that charge.
Okay. The defendant has to be aware that the person's attempting to contact law enforcement. So I'm going to find that there is no probable cause for count two. So she will be ROR for that count. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Dolores Lennon.
Miss Lennon, and you're Skylar's mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you want to have contact with her?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Does she live with you?
Yes, she does.
Do you want her to continue living with her?
No, I don't.
With you, okay. And are you afraid of her?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any concerns about your safety?
My safety, no, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me this morning?
Yes, ma'am. I have a concern about her safety.
Okay.
She's pretty much a full-fledged vodka drinker. She binges, and she really needs rehab, and we've been seeking that, but because she's 26, I can't put her there. So my attempt would be for her to get help.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Lennon, at this time, I'm going to place you on pretrial release. You are to maintain a separate residence from your mom. You're not to have any hostile contact with her. Do you understand what that means? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so it means you can't argue with her, you can't fight with her, you can't be disrespectful toward her in any way, okay? You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs, and you will be tested through pretrial release, and you are to check in face-to-face with pretrial release once a week.
And Your Honor, we would need bond, or we reached her alternate address, but they said she couldn't live with them, so she'll need another one.
Okay, well then, bond will be $500 on count one or PTR if qualified, but all the same conditions. So if she doesn't qualify and it's just the bond, I still want her to be tested.
Drug testing.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any questions, Ms. Lennon? All right. Any questions, Mom?
I just want to say one thing. This is the first time it's ever happened, but it was due to alcohol.
Right, I understand.
That's it. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And Your Honor, just for the record, the state would be requesting a no contact order
Okay.
instead of no hostile.
Thank you. Yes, or just regular domestic violence battery. Misdemeanor DV, yeah. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Regina Marshall.
Ms. Marshall, you were here in 19 CF 11689. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a weapon, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. Ma'am, what's your relationship to Mr. Malero?
That's my daughter's boyfriend.
Okay, so there's probable cause for aggravated battery with a weapon, but not domestic violence. That doesn't meet the definition
No.
under the statute. As well as there's probable cause for a battery, simple battery, but not a domestic violence battery. Ma'am, you're not to have any contact with Mr. Malero. You're not to return to 1712 Golden Poppy Court. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read the no contact order before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about anything that's in the order?
No, ma'am.
Okay. At this time, your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Your bond on count 2 will be $100.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Mohammed Abdul Malik.
Sir, you were here in 19 MM 6857. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, ma'am. Could you tell me your name, please?
Noah Severin.
Miss Severin, what is your relationship to Mr. Abdul Malik?
He's my boyfriend.
Ma'am, did you want to have contact with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of him?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns about your safety at all?
No, ma'am.
Do you have children?
No, ma'am.
And do you live together?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you want to continue living together?
Yes, ma'am.
You've been dating for 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anything like this happened in the time that you've been dating?
Not like this, no, ma'am.
What does that mean?
And we've gotten arguments before and thrown things, but never gotten super physical. Never tried to hurt me.
Ma'am, if something like this were to happen in the future, would you call the police and report it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Abdul Malik, at this time, I'm going to order you not to have any hostile contact with your girlfriend. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. State, are you requesting a no contact order?
Yes, Your Honor, but this is also based on the statements made by the victim to law enforcement. Within the narrative, it does state that the victim stated that this had been an ongoing issue since she began dating the defendant, but has never called police. So that raises a red flag. Also, she stated to law enforcement that she did not want to testify in court. So this probably speaks to her lack of cooperation. It could also go to the fear that she has of the defendant. At this time, the state would be requesting a no contact order just because of the facts within the narrative. The defendant holding her head down to the ground and hitting her on the right side of the face. This just is a red flag test.
Okay, thank you. Sir, do you understand what no hostile contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me what it means.
No attacking, no physical attacks or anything like that.
No verbal attacks?
No verbal attacks at all.
aggression?
No aggression.
No fighting?
No fighting.
Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. You can't possess any weapons or any firearms, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release, sir, at this time. Thank you. Do you have a question? No? Okay. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Harvey Brent.
Mr. Brent, this is 19 MM 6858. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. I don't see anyone here. So, sir, I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with Danielle Brent. You need to maintain a separate residence from her, and you cannot possess any weapons or any firearms at this time. I'm going to set your bond, sir, at $500.
So how much I need to pay?
Pardon me?
How much is that? $500 is,
You have to ask your lawyer, sir. I'm not sure what the bondsman's going to charge you. Mr. Brent, do you have any questions about the no contact order that you signed?
no, ma'am.
All right. Did you read it before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Your name?
Christian Hubbard.
Mr. Hubbard, you were here in 19 MM 6841. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Shamara Harris. You're
Yes,
to
ma'am.
maintain a separate residence, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does he have a no contact order?
Yes. I
Oh, thank
signed
you, sir. Did you read it before you signed it?
it. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about anything in the order?
No, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Hubbard. All right, so your bond is $1,000.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Good morning, your name?
Prior night.
Mr. Knight, this is 19 MM 6866. You were arrested for stalking. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You are not to have any contact with Danielle Thies. You are not to go near her home. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read the no contact order before you signed it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about anything in the order at all?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. At this time, your bond will be $1,000. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Willie Matos.
Mr. Matos, you're here in 19 MM 6856. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with your brother, Rick Anthony. You're to maintain a separate residence, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, sir. I'll just need you to sign the no contact order. Your bond is going to be $500. Did you read the no contact order, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about it?
No, I don't.
All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Aaron D. Ackerman Jr.
Sir, you're here in 19 MM 6867. You were arrested for violation of a domestic injunction. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Sir, again, you're not to have any contact with Stephanie Mejia Quiles. You're to maintain a separate residence. You're to abide by all the conditions in the injunction, number 19 DR 11152.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $3,500, and I'm revoking the bond in 19 MM 6692. That will be set at none.
And Your Honor,
Sir,
we would also ask for no weapons, no firearms.
yes, Mr. Okami, you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Did you read the no contact order before you
ma'am.
signed it? Do you have any questions about anything in the order?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Edward Royster.
Mr. Royster, this is 19 MM 6843. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond will be $1,000. You're not to have any contact with Rachel Wolf. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and you're to maintain a separate residence. Did you read the no contact order before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about anything in the order?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Sergio Thorne.
Mr. Thornton, this is 19 MM 783. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Jillian Johnson. You are to maintain a separate residence from Ms. Johnson, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while out on bond. Your bond, sir, is going to be $1,000. Does he have the no contact order? Thank you. Sir, did you read the no contact order before you signed it?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about anything in the order, sir?
Yes.
What do you have a question about?
My truck is at that resident,
Okay.
and plus a lot of my belongings. How I go about getting it?
So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna order that you can return one time to the residence with law enforcement, so you have to call the police and arrange that before you go.
Okay, so quick question.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get an understanding.
Sure.
Once I bun out and I step out
the Orange County Jail, I can call the police from here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The non-emergency number, so don't call 911. So where's the residence?
It's in Ocoee.
Okay, so you're gonna wanna call the Ocoee Police Department, the non-emergency number. You're gonna tell them that you need an escort to obtain your belongings. You'll have your court paperwork that'll show that you can return to the house one time that the judge said you could with the police to get your things. If you go without the police, it's a violation of the order.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I understand.
All right, sir. Thank
All
you.
right.
Good morning, your name?
Latanya Bazdeo.
Ms. Bazdeo, this is 19 CF 6800. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for possession of meth, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting officer without violence. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 and count 3 is $100, and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Christina Cook.
What about Alec Brown?
He's in the hospital, Your Honor.
All right, we'll reset Mr. Brown for tomorrow then. You're Christina Cook?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Cook, this is 19 CF 1892. You failed to appear for arraignment on July 11th of 2019. Your bond is set at none, ma'am. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Alicia Gentry.
Ms. Gentry, this is 19 CF 175. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for carrying a concealed firearm. Your bond at this time is set at $1,000. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, ma'am. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yes? Okay. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Warden Grants.
Sir, this is 19 CF 3560. You failed to appear for case management conference on August 8th of 2019. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you if they weren't previously appointed, sir. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Don Holt.
Mr. Holt, this is 19 CF 11687. You were arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. I do not find that there is probable cause to support the 2 prior convictions, but there is probable cause for petty theft. Sir, you are not to return to the Super Target at 120 West Grant Street.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir, and I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. When you leave here, they're going to give you a court date.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
need to make,
Can we get the statute number?
Mr. Holt, as I was saying, when you leave here, they're going to give you a court date, right? Not on the weekend?
No, because it still hasn't
Oh,
until they file.
he won't. All right, so you're not going to get a court date, Mr. Holt, when you leave. But, so that makes this all the more important. You have to stay in contact with your lawyer and make sure that the clerk's office has your correct address so you get notice of your next court date. If you fail to appear, sir, they're going to issue a warrant for your arrest and it will have no bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Thank you.
They're gonna tell me who the lawyer is to stay in contact with?
Mr. Williams, did he give you his paper? Did he get something?
Have I had anything?
I'm gonna get the statute. Oh, you have it? Can you
Okay.
tell us?
All right.
Thank you, Jimmy. Got it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Jason LeClaire.
Sir, this is '19 CF 11685. You were arrested for attempted burglary of a dwelling. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the scene, sir. Your bond is $2,500.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jeremiah McNeil.
Mr. McNeil, this is 19 CF 11684. You were arrested for burglary of a structure, criminal mischief, possession of burglary tools, and resisting officer without violence, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. There is probable cause for the offenses. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with your co-defendants, Kavan Williams or Jasheed Cox. You're not to return to the Royal Isle Apartments. You don't live there, do you, sir? Okay. You're not to return there, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Your bond on count 3 is $150, along with counts 4 and counts 5 are $150. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jose Ortiz.
Mr. Ortiz, this is 19 CF 11692. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Miguel Flood. And your bond, sir, is $1,000. Thank you. Oh, wait. Wait, Mr. Ortiz, just one moment. Mr. Ortiz actually qualifies for pretrial release. I'm gonna place him on pretrial release. Well, I'm putting you on it. Thank you, sir. I'm putting you on it. It's not a choice. Thank you. You do. Thank you. Have a nice day. Good morning, your name?
John Rios, Your Honor.
Mr. Rios, you failed to appear for pretrial conference on August 14th of 2019. Your bond at this time is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Sir, good morning, your name?
Ray Styles.
Mr. Stiles, you're here in 19 CF 11707. You were arrested for robbery with a firearm. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond? This is a punishable by life felony.
Yes, Your Honor. However, would it be possible to recall, check review?
Do you need to pull the warrant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Williams, do you have a copy of the warrant?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right, we can call Mr. Stiles at the end. Mr. Stiles, we're going to call your case at the end of the docket, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
John Walter.
Mr. Welter, this is 19 CF 11709. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for all of those offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $500, your bond on count 2 is $100, and your bond on count 3 is $100, so, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Kayvon Williams.
Mr. Williams, this is 19 CF 11683. You were arrested for burglary of a structure or criminal mischief greater than $1,000, possession of burglary tools, resisting officer without violence, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. There is probable cause for those offenses, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to 803 Don Quixcote Avenue, which is the Royal Isle Apartments. You don't live there, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms or have any contact with Jeremiah McNeil or Jashad Cox. Your bond on count 1, sir, is going to be $1,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $150. Your bond on count 3 will be $150, as well as counts 4 and counts 5, $150. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Christina Marie Soto.
Ms. Soto? You are here in 19 CT 4041. You failed to appear for the offense of an expired driver's license more than 6 months. Your bond is $1,000. Did you want to resolve that case today? And enter a plea? Jenny, how much time does she have on that case? Okay, thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
would like to resolve it.
Okay, I'll need you to sign the plea form, please.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Keep on moving.
Yes. Ms. Soto, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right, I need you to take a quick look at that plea
Oh,
form.
wait, is that the one that I
They
have?
do
in the
give it
back.
to you in the back.
Yeah,
The
yes.
same
Yes,
form?
I did, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up that are on the form?
No,
Okay. Are you on probation?
no, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to accept your plea. I'm going to withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by August 17th of 2020. And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case today. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name? Ms. Delgado
Yes, ma'am.
Medina?
Yes.
Ma'am, this is 19 MM 6842. You were arrested for giving false identification to a law enforcement officer. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Ms. Holmes, this is attached to a felony case, so I don't think she'd want to
it's too
resolve
long.
that today. The bond is $500. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Martin Grossman.
Mr. Grossman, this is 19 MM 6854. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this morning, sir?
No,
Okay, do you want to resolve the case?
I just want to plead no contest.
Okay, sir, I need you to sign the plea form, please.
Sure.
Mr. Grossman, did you read the plea form before you signed it, sir?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation? Yes?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you. Actually, let me see something. Does he have any history, April? I don't see his form.
No, I don't see any.
All right. Oh, here it
In-state
is.
or out-of-state history.
Oops, it was back here. Mr. Grossman, I'm going to withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You cannot return to Disney Springs, sir. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. You also have to pay court costs, which are due by August 17th of 2020.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Willie Hill.
Mr. Hill, this is 19 MM 6855. You were arrested for trespassing. There's probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Did you want to resolve your case this morning?
Yeah.
All right, sir. You just need to sign the plea form, please.
What is it? Yeah.
Sir, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Well, yeah, I've read it before. So
All right,
I kinda-
Mr. Hill, do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No, I don't have no question.
All right. Are you on probation?
No, nothing
Do-
like that.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Right.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
Sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You can't return to the Lynx main bus station. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by August 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Seth Thomas Latender.
Sir, this is 19 MM 6846. You were arrested for criminal mischief. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. You are not to return to the Crescent Central Station, and your bond is $500, sir.
Can I resolve the case today?
No, sir. No, I don't have enough information about the potential damage to the window, so I'm not going to resolve your case today. Thank you. Well, unless you can post your bond. Or have your attorneys file a motion, sir. Thank you.
How much was the bond tonight, John?
500.
500.
I don't know, sir. Good morning. Your name?
Paul Cleveland McKay III.
How about Rafael Alberto Castilla Lawrence?
He's medical, Your Honor.
All right. Lou, oh. He's medical or he refused?
He's medical.
He's refused yesterday, so I just wondered.
He's medical.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll reset Mr.
Okay.
Castillo Lawrence for tomorrow.
All right.
And how about Jesus Principe?
He's medical also, Your Honor.
All right, we'll reset him for tomorrow as well. All right, sir. Thanks for waiting. Tell me your name again.
Paul Cleveland McKay III.
Mr. McKay, you're here in 16 CF 15099. You were arrested for a violation of probation, sir. It is alleged that you failed to complete or remain in a drug or alcohol treatment program until the provider had determined that you no longer needed treatment. You were discharged from the STEPS program on July 15th of 2019. You also failed to make your restitution payments. You're $3,865.39 behind. You've also failed to make your court cost payments, and you're $668 behind. Both of those are as of July 31st of 2019. Additionally, it's alleged that you failed to pay your cost of supervision to the state of Florida in the amount of $20 per month, and you're $1,170.20 behind as of July 31st. It's also alleged that you failed to successfully complete 100 hours of community service, and that you have failed to do that as of July 31st of 2019. Your bond is set at none, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, and you'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
Awesome. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Hey, how you doing? My name is Stefan, y'all.
Mr. Yaw, this is 16 CF 7078. You were arrested for a violation of probation, sir. It is alleged that you have failed to report to your probation officer as directed, and that you did not report for the month of March of 2019, or April, or May. It also alleges that you have failed to pay your cost of supervision, and as of July 19th of 2019, you're $520 behind. It also says that you have failed to pay your court costs to the Orange County Clerk of Court. And you have not set up a payment plan to pay those costs. Your bond is currently set at none. So your affidavit states that you make $700 per week. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I just started working. If I just got this job at the T.G. Lee Milk Factory, and they just kept switching my P.O., you feel me? So I didn't really know, like, who, like.
I understand, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You need to have them file a motion with Judge Young as soon as they can, so that he can get you in for a bond motion. I'm not going to modify Judge Young's warrant at this time. I don't have enough information about your underlying case. All right, sir. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. McLeod?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're here in 19MO1464. You were arrested for open container. There is probable cause. Did you want to resolve your case this morning, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just need you to sign that plea form, please. Mr. McLeod, did you read the plea form before you signed it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by August 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
All right.
All right.
So I'll be going home today?
Yes, sir, you will.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me just have Mr. Stiles to redo. Have you read the affidavit, or you need a minute?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
Judge. Sorry.
All right, so State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond on Mr. Stiles' case?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state would be requesting that no bond be set based on the narrative attached to, or based on the arrest affidavit. I believe that the state can meet their burden on proof, evident, presumption great, based on the defendant, or the victim here in this case actually identifies the defendant as the individual who robbed him at gunpoint, or attempted to rob him at gunpoint, and stated he stated he was 100% positive of this defendant's ID.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Williams?
the defense will be asking for a bond in this case, Your Honor, and leave it up to your discretion based on that.
The state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great, based upon the information in the probable cause arrest affidavit. Bond will be set at none. Mr. Stiles, you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You are not to return to the Bald Head Grocery, and you're not to have any contact with Joshua Thayer. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And he was released on a pretrial release, Your Honor. He has an open case.
Oh, yes, bond in 19 CF 8621 will be revoked, so that will also be set at none.
And I apologize, I think you look really familiar, just you feel good maybe? Yeah, okay, me too, yeah.
Good morning, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, thank you, ma'am. We'll call the case in just a moment. It's case number 19 CF 11699. Sir, good morning.
Okay.
Tell me your name, please.
Lenny Telfort.
Bonjour, bon nom, s'il vous plaît.
Non, pas mais Lenny Telfort.
Ernie Safar
Yeah, Lenny Telfort.
or Lenny
Okay.
Safar.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, you were arrested in 19 CF 11699 for aggravated battery on a pregnant person dating violence.
Donc, monsieur, pour 19 PFF, parce que vous avez attaqué une fille qui est enceinte?
Non.
No.
No, you were arrested for that offense, sir.
Yeah.
Non, c'est pour raison ça que vous avez arrêté.
There's probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you.
Donc, je vais un avocat et public qui pourrait présenter.
You're not to have any contact with Erlaine Jean-Jacques.
Faut pas avoir aucun contact avec Erline Jean-Jacques.
You are to maintain a separate residence from her, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms.
Et il faut qu'on l'autre côté où était, on l'autre caille séparé de lui-même et on pas droit à aucun jam ou bien aucun bagaille.
Sir, did you read the no contact order before you signed it?
Monsieur, est-ce que vous avez lu papier qui est le non contest là avant de signer?
Oui.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about the order?
Yeah.
Est-ce que vous avez une question sur l'ordre là?
Oui, j'ai une question.
Yes, I have questions.
What's the question?
Yeah, there's a problem yesterday. Hier, parce que on expliquait qu'il y a des partenaires qui étaient venus aider pour me faire des closets de mettre wood floor là-dedans avec des partenaires qui ont peinturé des coupons glace derrière. Quand ils m'ont expliqué partenaire à mettre cap jouer musique, si fille attend dans chambre là, quand il a sorti dehors il prend expliquer pour la voyer dans garage là. Quand il passé me expliquer après ça me prend mettre à terre dans garage là. Après ça l'entrant dedans, me
I'm
partenaire
going to stop Mr. Lennick. I'm asking him specifically if he has a question about the no contact order.
Oh no.
No?
No.
All right, sir. At this time, I am going to place you on pretrial release. Thank you.
Et
What is it? I'm sorry.
Pre-trial release.
Oh, pre-trial release?
Yes, ma'am.
OK. Kounia m'a lage ou jusqu'à ce que ou aller devant tribunal.
All right, thank you, sir.
Merci, monsieur.
All right, Madam Interpreter, that's all we have.
All right. Thank you for using our services.
Thank you
Have a
very
good day.
much. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
And then we'll be off the record.